Hi there, welcome back. So something a little bit different for you today. We're going to try and make something first time ever, a leather sort of little like bag or pouch using this template. Now we will do our best to list everything that we've used in way of materials in the description box below, along with links as to where you can get it from. So I'm just looking at, this is a template, like a pattern template for this lovely like little leather pouch bag. I think we got this one from Temu. Obviously you can look them up, get them through Amazon and so on, but look at this gorgeous. Now this is faux leather. We don't use real leather products. We prefer to use faux leather. Now this is me now just doing my best to measure out if we have enough of the piece of leather here for the number of pattern pieces that we need to cut out. And I'm just showing you the other colours that this came in. Absolutely gorgeous. We do have 2 packs of these, thank goodness. Otherwise we'd have a bag of many colours, I think. We've also got this other faux leather, which is much thinner. And it's sort of autumnal colours, very much browns and blacks, but look at this one. Now you know us, bit of gold, bit of bronze, bit of autumn colours. So decided on the 2 that we were going to use. Just looking at the embossing pattern on the leather, working out where's best to put your placement of your pattern pieces, not unlike if you were, making a dress pattern. So to be honest, it's quite the similar process as if you were making something out of regular fabric, like if you've ever made like a dress or a skirt or whatever. So I love this colour leather, and I do prefer this leather compared to the coppery goldy other coloured leather that we use as a contrast, but we just didn't have enough of this one to make the whole of the bag out of it. So all I'm doing here is I've placed the template piece down, the pattern piece down, and that's just a pencil that I've got there, and marking out round where we need to cut out this piece of pattern. So there you go. Quite simple and straightforward, doing it again on another piece and then going in with the scissors and cutting it all out. Repeated the process on the contrasting colour for these other pattern pieces. Now I will say we had no instructions with this pattern template to make this lovely little sort of leather pouchy bag thing. So a lot of it was going by trial and error. So bear with us. We are not professional people with working with leather or faux leather or making bags and things like that. So all very much firsts here for us. So just cutting out all the pieces that we needed, ready for it to be sewn together. Now there are a lot of little holes on these edges of these, just a couple, 2 or 3 millimeters in from the edge of the pattern template piece, and you'll find out what that's for shortly. So I'm just trimming them up there because one of them was a little bit odd shaped, but I quite like those. And look at that with the coordinating piece. So this is me now taking, this is a Posca pen, I mean you could take a Sharpie pen, on the wrong side of the piece of faux leather and trying to make the pattern as to where we need the holes. Now this is for sewing, so this is your guide. Now you don't have to do this bit, you could just do it straight through the pattern piece if you're happy to do that. But did the same thing then with the 2 main parts, the front and the back. So we've got the larger parts of the front and the back, and the thinner, more sort of rectangle shapes at the sides. Now this is Wayne. We have done this, we shared this video. He is now doing, on the contrasting coloured faux leather, some of these little, now they look like little tags. That's the only way I can describe them. And he's going to show you. Now this is, I'm going to call it a leather punch. It makes small holes. They're going to give it a little bit of a whack there with a hammer. There we go. And as you can see, you've got a little hole there. Now, if there's any little bits of the leather left behind that shouldn't be there, you you can easily just give it another whack with the hole punch, or the leather punch, and it should get rid of it for you. There we go. Obviously make sure you're working on a hard surface when you do this. Protect your surface if you don't want lots of little holes in it. And then he's just going through with a punch just to make sure, without the aid of the hammer, to make sure it is all the way through there. And then he'll repeat that process with the other little tag that you can see there in the top left hand corner of the screen. There we go. Now obviously, for viewing's sake here, and for the time, because it's very time sensitive, we know your time is precious, and we are grateful for the time that you spend watching our videos, but in view of all of that, what we have done is sped up quite a few of the clips with this video. If you're thinking, well, where's the resin? You know, you normally use resin or eco resin, or you know, that sort of thing, or paint. Where's that? The resin bit is coming up very soon, but we thought this is autumnal themed because of the colours and so on. So this part is sped up. It's very difficult to film this, so please bear with us. But Wayne's using something that looks like a rake, but it's got lots of little prongs and it makes lots of little holes in a straight line. So rather than spending a lot of time doing one hole by one hole by one hole, he did it, you know, sort of about 4 or 5 at a time. Now, slightly bigger hole punch there, or leather punch, to make those 2 holes there. And what these are for will all become obvious when you see the final piece. So with this one, he decided to do a hole at either end and then use the scissors to cut it out. So again, we're going back in with this thing that looks like a rake or a fork, and there we go, just giving a bit of just one whack with a hammer just to make those little holes all the way around the edge. So this is doing the equivalent part of punching a hole through fabric like a sewing machine does. There we are. And repeated the process with the other piece as well. In fact, with all of the pieces. There we go. So he now needs to cut the larger holes using the leather punch along the top piece here. So he does this twice. Obviously this is the front or the back, but he needs to do it to the front and the back. Up to you what you do with the little pieces of leather that are punched out of this larger piece. You can keep them, of course, if you think that you might need them for another project or for decoration perhaps. They would look rather lovely in a pendant. And obviously if you're going to do that, you do need to glue it into place and then seal it with resin. But there you go, you get the idea. And that's the other side. Do love that pattern. And again, here we go, he's just saying he's lining it up with those little dots and then going in and he'll give it a whack, and it will make the holes all just around the edge there. Make sure that you come in a good sort of 3 millimeters in from the very edge, just to make sure that you know, it doesn't that you can catch properly when you see him using the cord. There we go. Yeah, so apologies, I don't know all the correct terms for these tools. I've never used them. Neither has Wayne. So this was very much a first for us. But hopefully it's giving you some inspiration to maybe have a go for yourself. There we are. Look at that. So exactly the same, making the larger holes in this one, and then he'll go around the edge and make all the smaller holes as well. So yes, this one, it takes a little time, but it is really worth it in the long run with your finished piece. I mean, you could make yourself spectacles or glasses case, you could make yourself a case for your phone, makeup bag, anything really. Now, this bit's a bit tricky to explain, so again, forgive me if I fall over my words a bit here. Wayne uses 2 pieces of cord and 2 needles to sew this together. Now, I don't know what the name of the technique is. He learnt how to do it because he has actually made me a lovely pale pink satchel style bag before, and he said this is what you would do. So I don't know if you're following. He's threaded each of them through like that and like that, and you just literally keep going, and it creates quite a nice firm seal with the two pieces. So this is what he's doing, is he's sewing the front or the back to one of the side pieces currently. So he'll do this all the way through till he gets right round to the very bottom of the long, you know, the side piece there that you can see, the one that's in the dark colour. There we are. Does get a bit fiddly, I'm not going to lie, with the two, trying to use the two needles, the two lengths of thread. Now back to me again. So I left Wayne to do that, and we need to have a resin element because obviously our channel, we make a lot of things out of resin. So decided to try using these two particular elements of this lovely mold. Now this is redesigned by Prima Mold. We've used it before, you've seen us use it, and if you haven't, why not check out our playlist of videos and you can see us using this one and a few others. So I'm trying to stick with the bronzes and the golds, so that's following again with the theme. And look at this, this is them before the mold has been cleaned up, I might add, all lovely dusted. So we just dusted the chrome nail powder, that was, or you could use mica powder if you wanted to. And then Wayne's used some of the mica powder in with some regular epoxy resin, so it's Tea Expert resin, 1:1 mixing ratio. So that's equal quantities of part A and B of the resin and the hardener. Mixed it for a good sort of 2 or 3 minutes, and then is slowly and steadily filling up this mold. So again, it's been sped up a bit because you don't need to sit and watch us do this for 5 to 10 minutes. Then taking the micro brush, going around the edges of the mold and the detail just to make sure that the resin has gone all the way down to where it needs to go to. We are out to the corners of those little stars. So at this point we weren't sure whether we're going to use just the stars or just the dragonfly or just this beautiful butterfly at the bottom here. Really weren't sure. So decided to do all of them. And as you can see, we've got loads of resin left. So we went on and we did fill up the rest of the mould, as you can see, and a couple of little skulls. So if you joined us today for the premiere of this video and you're in the live chat, hi, hope you're enjoying this. This is a little bit of a change for us. We thought we'd, I don't know, swap it out a bit maybe, change it up a bit. So there we go. I'm just trying to show you this butterfly. It's gorgeous. And look at the dragonfly. Absolutely stunning. And then again, this other one, beautiful. Sorry, wrong side of the camera. There we go. And then this slightly bigger butterfly. All really, really beautiful. We do trim up the little bits of overpour that you can see there, and we just use a little pair of sharp scissors to do that. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, why not do so? It's free. We upload usually twice a week. At 5 p.m. UK time, usually on a Friday and a Sunday, sometimes on a Wednesday as well. Predominantly resin or eco-resin based products for your home or gifts and so on. And yeah, there we are. So we're having a little bit of a change up here. So Wayne is now just applying some rivets and the little tag. Now at this point, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what this does. I am a complete novice when it comes to making bags and things, but this was what he did. So hopefully you can see what he's doing there. There we go. It's all the little finishing touches and elements and pieces that go together. I mean, stunning. Gosh. There you go. Lovely. It just finishes it. Now, longer piece. He's sewn one of the sides of the bag to the front or the back. I'm not sure which it is at this point. And this is the joining section. So this joins the two side pieces together along the bottom. Now you can just go around the edge, along the top, around the red edge again, and around the bottom. Wayne decided he was going to do a bit of a pattern. Now don't forget to include into this the other side piece of the bag, as you can see there. There we go. Now the needles, the hole punch or the leather punch, and the cords all came from either Temu or Amazon, and as I've said before, we will link the products where we're able to in the description box. If you can't see it linked, have a look on our Amazon storefront, and you may be able to find what you need there. Also on our storefront, we've got links for resin, mica powders, paint, UV resin, molds, lots and lots of things that you might find you need. There we go. So he's just showing you that that piece along the bottom there joins those two side elements. So carefully putting the needle through all three parts, and then just making sure that then whatever design you decide to do, whether it's just the regular stitching or if you decide to have a go at what Wayne's doing, which is a crisscross pattern, just making sure that you go through the both pieces that you need to be going through. So that's the bottom part of the bag and also that little tag piece that you can see there. There we are. It is, I'm not going to lie, it is a little bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, there'll be no stopping you. So he'd sewn that into place, and then just to secure the end of this cord that he's been using to sew this bag together, he's going to use some activated glue, and he's just popping that on there, leaving it a few seconds, and then going in with a pair of scissors and then just snipping it off. There we go. Obviously be careful when you're snipping that you don't cut through your stitches. There we are. So that's that piece done. Can you see that? He's done a really lovely crisscross pattern there. Now to attach, that's either the back or the front, which he has now done. So there we are. We're having a little look around it currently. So it's not ever so stiff. This bag is quite soft. So I wouldn't recommend putting anything really heavy into it unless you have managed to stiffen the whole of the bag. Now, I mean, I have no clue. We don't know how you do that process. If you do know how to do that process, why not, let us know in the comments. If you've used different materials to make this kind of thing before, let us know what ones. Have you been successful? Do you have any tips or tricks that you'd like to share with us? Everything is welcome, because Wayne certainly wants to have another go at making this kind of style of bag. There we go. So he's just putting on the hardware there. Now this is what you see on the sides of bags, that they then maybe a handbag strap, a shoulder strap would be attached to. Now we don't have any shoulder straps, so we are improvising big time at this point, and we're going to use some of that lovely gold cord. Now, made a decision as to what kind of handbag charm we're going to have, and we're going to go with that Dragonfly. So the hardware he's using now is just for a keychain, to make a cheap keychain. So there we go, just using the finest bit for his multi-tool there, his little handy, it's like a Dremel but not a Dremel kind of tool. So just drilling in a little bit into the top of the head of the Dragonfly there, and then he's going to put the eyelet screw in. There we go. And it just screws into the top. Now you can secure that in with a little bit of activated glue or a little tiny dab of UV resin if you want to. There we are. And then, there we are, activated glue, just to be 100% secure that it's going to stay in and it's not going to, it's not going to come out. Just a couple of little dabs. Don't overdo it with the glue, because it will drip down onto your skin if you haven't got gloves on, and this isn't nice stuff to get on your skin. You really don't want to do that. There we go. Plus it may leave a mark on your beautiful handbag charm, and you don't want that either. So Wayne has opened up the jump ring part of the keychain to make the handbag charm. And he's done that using 2 pairs of pliers. And you just open it like you open a door. Don't pull it away from each other. Just open it like you're opening a door. Apologies if you can hear a dog barking. This is the perils of doing voiceovers from home. So there we go. And then he's just closed it up like you're closing a door. So apologies for the slightly obscured left-hand side of the screen there. Don't know what's going on. Decided where we want the handbag charm to hang from. And he's just undoing that side bit of hardware there for the handbag strap itself, and then putting it back through and using a little handy dandy screwdriver, which I believe came with them. Came with this hardware. There we go. Again, we've got different shades of gold, and we're quite happy with that. If you're not, then obviously you can match up your gold colours and so on. Can you see what he's done with that lovely gold cord there? He's just threaded it through one section of those larger eyelet holes along the top of the bag for the moment, but we do go ahead and put it through the second row of holes as well. Now, you don't have to have both rows of holes, you can just have one. So you can also see him now just doing little extra something. Now, this isn't part of the pattern. This is what Wayne decided to do, so to secure the ends of that gold cord you can see there. So this forms part of the temporary shoulder strap until we order some, or actually, to be honest with you, I quite like it with this cord, and this bag is never gonna hold anything particularly heavy, so I might actually stick with having this cord as the shoulder strap part. Would look lovely with yeah, I mean, you could wear it for casual, or for a bit more you could glam it up a little bit, maybe. Casual, smart casual, let's say that. Or if you particularly like, and I didn't think about this till I did the end shot for this particular project, but it's a little bit country and western. Not intentional, but it is. So why not wear it with your favourite pair of denim jeans? Why not, you know, accessorise it that way? And of course, because this is the channel it is, we're going to bling up the Dragonfly a bit with some of this lovely gold deco colour pen. There we go. So just literally brushing over the raised parts of the Dragonfly, just to bling it up just that bit more, because, you know, why not? Also did it on the one of the stars that we decided to use, and Wayne made this really lovely little leather fob, keyring fob, to go on the bag too. So there we go. That's it. All done and dusted for today's video. So this is the final shot. Really, I hope you like the bag. I think this is probably one of the best things that Wayne has ever made. It's not going to be up for sale. I'm keeping this. And I'm just over the moon, so pleased with the result and how it looks. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Bye to everyone in the live chat. Have a fabulous weekend and a really good crafting week if you're crafting, or whatever you're doing. Have a fabulous week, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.